Welcome, everybody. Today is Wednesday, February 19th, and this is the AI Launchpad podcast. All right. I'm your host, Mike Pina, and today we've got a special guest we're going to be bringing on. He's from Leadership Miami. He's a VP in Financial Services. He's also presenting at the AI Full Throttle Workshop happening when? 28th of February. That's next Friday. And if you don't know, you need to ask somebody, okay? You're going to need to come out to this because this is where we hit AI full throttle right here in Miramar. So without further ado, let me go ahead and bring on our guest for tonight. Let me introduce Mr. Peter Rodriguez. Peter, how you doing?
Hey, Mike, doing great. Excited to be here tonight and really pumped about getting everyone excited about, attending the AI full throttle, right?
Exactly.
It's going to be a great event and, really looking forward to it and really looking forward to seeing everyone out there.
Exactly. I wanted to take a few moments to talk about some of the common things we come across when we're dealing with business owners. But before we get to that, Pete, give me just a little bit of information about what's been your experience. What kind of customers are you used to dealing with?
Absolutely. So I deal with a wide range of customers from many different industries. However, I have to say that my experience in the nonprofit industry with small business has been really eye-opening for me in the sense that how they're quicker to adapt technologies and how they're more willing to use the resources and the tools that are out there and available, and AI has been one of those tools that has been top of mind for all of small businesses and especially the nonprofits.
So is it safe to say that AI is being embraced by small businesses overall, or do you feel that there's still a little bit of pushback now that we're in 2025 and so much has happened since the release of ChatGPT out into the open marketplace? What are your thoughts? Are they accepting or they're still getting that pushback?
So I don't think they're pushing back, Mike. I think what's going on is that there's not really a full understanding of what AI is and how it can impact their specific line of business. So I think there's not so much pushback. I think there's a knowledge gap, and that's why I'm excited about AI Full Throttle, because we're here to close that knowledge gap and bring some real life examples of how AI is going to help every business.
Exactly. What I love about this, so just to go back several months ago, Peter and I we got together to discuss a strategy for small business owners because we're on a mission to transform Miami and get AI adoption across the board. So we said, let's start something right here in our own backyard. Peter is only about, I think, 25-30 minutes from me.
Yep.
It's right here in the heart of Miami in Hialeah. Okay, some call it the birthplace of Miami. One of the oldest towns. Right out here in Miramar, we're not far, and we figured let's find a place somewhere in the middle where we can intersect both Miami-Dade and Broward counties and be able to form something that we think is going to transform the business community. And in doing so, we came up with AI Full Throttle, the Ignite series, where we're going to ignite your curiosity about artificial intelligence and adopting it for your business use. Now, the thing is, when I sat with Peter, originally I had one concept of what are we going to focus on for business owners, because as many of you know, I work a lot with generative AI and digital marketing, but bringing Peter into the mix transformed the whole approach. He brings years of strategy, working in financial services. You've dealt extensively with Latin America as well. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Latin America, Caribbean, really that segment of the market.
Tell us a little bit about what you've learned in your years of experience in the financial sector, specifically with business strategy. I mean, how have you been able to give back to the community? I know you're involved in all kinds of nonprofits. I mean, we see you on LinkedIn all the time. You're posting pictures and videos of your involvement in the community. You really love South Florida. I can tell. Tell us.
Absolutely, Mike. And for me, giving back is something that it runs in my DNA, right? Something, giving back. I've received a lot. I've been, recipient of, scholarships, of mentors, so to me, I have this responsibility to give back. But, going back to your point, building a profitable business, the truth is it takes strategy and it takes a lot of knowledge and a lot of data. right? And analysis of that data. So, that those are the core ingredients. And, what makes me so excited about, the future is that how AI is facilitating, the analysis of that data, right? And some things are going to change with AI, but the business strategy has to remain the same. And my goal is to help people understand that AI is just a resource, it's a tool, but it has to be used properly to your specific business.
Correct. One of the things that I like about being able to bring together both of these perspectives for the AI Full Throttle series that's going to start next Friday on the 28th, right? So we're looking at it from two different perspectives. Peter usually sees a lot of these organizations once they've already gone full throttle, once they've already scaled and they're already, on an international level, you have a pretty large portfolio. I'm on the more of the startup phase. I get to see businesses as they're starting to launch, within that first crucial year when restaurants, mom and pop stores are just beginning to settle in and figure out, how do we do this? And what I love is about the whole setup is that we're able to look at the entire full circle perspective, how they start, bringing that experience, and then of course bringing your expertise on how they finish and where we want to get them to. But the magic of this is being able to bridge both points of a business's journey with AI, and that's what I love. See, artificial intelligence is helping businesses, especially like mom and pops, which have so much to benefit from, right? To be able to do things for much less than they would have spent traditionally, much quicker. And like I always tell business owners in 2025, if you're not using AI right now, your competitor is. I mean, do you agree with that, Pete? What are your thoughts?
I definitely agree with that, Mike. AI, the adoption, especially among small businesses, is definitely much higher. And I definitely want to highlight that while my experiences has been with in larger mid-sized companies, one of the things that they have in common is that many of them have grown organically, but many of them have grown through acquisition, right? And one of the things that's going to happen is that these mom and pop businesses that have a great idea, have a great technology, have a niche in the market, they're going to be bought out, by a larger company, right? So that's my goal as well, right? To make sure that your small business grows enough that you'll get an offer that you can't refuse, and again, build another business, right? That's one of the goals that I have, and I've seen it, and it's a profitable model for many business owners.
Something that now that you say that, I remember we were talking at Emerge Americas last year in 2024. We were hanging out there in one of the breakout sessions, and there was a gentleman who came on. I think he was from Canada. He was describing about the process of building a business, building it up, then selling it and repeating. And I thought that was mind blowing, because most of us, when we start a business, we're thinking that this is going to be our baby for life. You're going to put in 20, 30, 50 years of your life into, let's say, this restaurant, this accounting firm, realty office, whatever, and that's it. But I remember specifically in that session, because we were talking extensively about this, the
Absolutely.
perspective is you build up your business, get it to a level where it's highly profitable, and then you sell. You give all your hard labor away, but you sell at a high price, right? And then you repeat the formula. Do you remember this?
I definitely remember, Mike, and that's something that really struck a chord with me, right? Because what's going to happen is that this business is going to take off. It's an entity of its own. It's going to thrive. It's going to flourish, right? You're always going to be the parent of this business. However, you're going to see it thrive, and you're going to see it grow. Right. And that's one of the goals, and Mike, I want to say, yes, that is a goal. However, there are, mom and pop businesses, small businesses that want to maintain some type of ownership, some type of control. And obviously that's, it's all in the details of the negotiation, right? You can negotiate to stay on, right. Maybe run that segment of the business. I've seen that happen as well. But more times than not, I've seen people just, sell the business and, take what they've learned and, take advantage of other opportunities.
That's good. Now, I had a couple of things that came up before we started this segment. I had some typical objections that I come across when I'm talking to business owners regarding why I shouldn't get into AI. And I just wanted to throw a couple of these at you to get your opinion, obviously from a leadership perspective, from a financial strategist perspective, to tell me what are your thoughts. So I'm going to go kind of quick on this, just throwing them out. Tell me the first thing that comes out. Okay. AI is too expensive for me to use in my business. Thoughts?
So I agree. AI can be expensive. It's getting less expensive, thanks to DeepSeek. But really, what's going on is that this has to be considered a valuable investment. It has to be investment. Something that you're going to understand that this is an investment today, but it can lead to significant returns in the future, right? This is something that has an opportunity, and there's also an opportunity cost, right? Not taking advantage of this opportunity now while the price is relatively low, is an opportunity cost for not taking. So you have to weigh the pros and cons. What's it going to cost me today, or what is the
long-term cost?
The long-term cost of not doing it. Yeah.
Another objection. Okay, it's too complicated to learn, or I'm too old to learn. I literally had somebody tell me they felt that they're too old to learn the AI. And they just gave me AI, just a broad example. They didn't say which one. Thoughts?
Right. So, Mike, I believe as a lifetime learner myself that you're never too old to learn. I think there's value in learning something every day. So I think as long as someone has the dedication and the intention to learn, they're going to get there regardless of their age.
Very good point. And then I had another one on here. So let me read this back to you. So before the segment, I spoke with a few individuals to give me some of their key objections, and I actually had a pretty lengthy list. So I'm trying to pick out the best ones on here because there's different parts of AI. I mean, whether you're using like Google Gemini, a service like HubSpot. I mean, AI is in everything. If you're building a website with Wix or you're using Adobe to manipulate images, it's pretty much everywhere. So chances are that these same business owners that have objected to adopting AI are already using it, at least to some degree. Do you feel that already?
So, Mike, I want to start off, anyone that drives a Tesla or an EV is using AI. Right? They're using AI because the cameras are integrated into the mainframes, right? They're providing information. They're providing their data. So for people to say that they're not using AI directly, I would say they're already using AI indirectly, whether it's with their EV, whether if they're going through the airport, whether they're going through traffic cameras. They're part of AI and they're helping AI learn every day.
And I actually thought about that when it comes to the forms of AI. They refer to that as narrow AI, meaning it's only got one specific type of use. It's very basic. See, originally when the whole concept of AI came out, we were thinking, Terminator 2, self-learning, it's going to take over. We're not at that level, at least not yet. I hope not. Because I wouldn't want to see that in some of our most sensitive types of applications like defense or healthcare or rating your credit for a home loan, things like that. I'd want a human being behind some of those decisions, right? But with the whole concept of the individual who, for example, is intimidated, concerned about cost, the learning curve of starting to learn about AI now in 2025, when the competitors already know, what do you tell them? What words of encouragement will you offer them?
I think one of the best ways to encourage someone is to actually show them and guide them through it, right? And some people can learn just by reading a book. They grab the knowledge. Some people need to be a little more hands-on. So I think someone that has that objection that, really doesn't understand it, I think a hands-on approach, a real-life example, a case study is going to be beneficial to their knowledge, and it's going to bring the adoption rate up.
Now, just on a side note, because I really feel that our current administration, not to get too off topic, is preparing America to be the leader of the world. We know that towards the beginning of this year, the current administration, led by President Trump, he signed an executive order for artificial intelligence. Okay, and this is basically to promote and maintain, as this is word for word verbatim, all right, global leadership in AI technology. He wants to develop AI systems that are going to be free from ideological bias or engineer social agendas. But I know that more than this, especially with the amount of money that's being poured into this, it's to set up America as the global leader in AI. What is that going to mean for the types of businesses that we interact with, whether it's small business or multinational corporations, as you're used to working with?
Right. So you're absolutely right, Mike. This administration did earmark $500 billion for AI. So larger companies are going to get a larger piece of the pie. But it's a really large pie, right? So if small companies, even get a small slice of that, if they're in the line, right, of suppliers, of businesses, right, of services that they provide, they're still going to be able to tap into that. And what's going to happen is that's really going to create the baseline, and we're going to see, the industry just grow from there.
That's
so
amazing.
I encourage everyone to get in now at the base level.
Now, for those who have never watched this segment here on AIRocketShip.com, we're also going to be showing this on LinkedIn as well. This is obviously the AI Launchpad podcast, right? Released this year in 2025. Tell us a little bit about what you're going to be doing on the 28th here in Miramar at Home2 Suites by Hilton, where you're going to be presenting on business strategies and AI. Just give us a glimpse. What are you bringing to the table?
Absolutely. So one of the things that I'm excited about is, providing some of these opportunities that exist for small businesses to get started with AI, right? One of the things that people ask me all the time, how do I get started with AI, right? What I'm going to do is provide real life examples how you can get started with low capital entry into a business, into an AI business, right? One of the things is providing examples of, what type of businesses you can use with AI, what's required. The other part is enhancing your existing businesses by using AI, by having that data analyzed, by, having a clear picture of where your business stands as not only against the competition, but against the growth opportunities in the future.
And it's exciting too, because I know the morning session, we already got some individuals from the realty business. There's also a startup that I know signed on as well too. I have another gentleman who's coming from like a nursing background as well. I mean, just a couple various backgrounds that are going to be there to not only ask about knowledge, but to share knowledge. So I see there's a great opportunity for networking, and it's with people who are like-minded, who want to grow with AI, because we're all starting this journey together.
Right. And that's something that's important, Mike. So obviously the topic is AI and how do we go full throttle with AI. But I truly believe that networking is one of the key benefits of this event. Many attendees are going to come, solo, but they're going to leave with valuable connections, right? They're going to have people that they establish a connection with, or maybe they share ideas, and there's many case studies that we know of that, two separate businesses came together, formed one, and they created a great company, right? Because it's two separate ideas coming together to serve one client need, right? So it's a great opportunity, and I never underestimate the power of networking. That's something that, AI is not going to be able to do for us. We have to do that ourselves. So I encourage everyone to, again, come in and network and meet the movers and shakers of AI, meet the small businesses, meet the people that are going to be making the headlines in AI in the coming years.
And that's what it's all about, making headlines. So we had a saying, I know, when we first started this journey, get on the AI train or what? Get left behind.
Left behind. That's it, right? And it's really, Mike, I love the analogy, right? But AI is more like a drone at this point, right? You got to, because the drones go straight up, right? The train has a linear movement. This drone is is going up, and it's really going to provide people a high level overview, right? Full Throttle is going to provide that drone level view, high level of what AI is. Again, we're going to bring it back down, back to the ground for where everyone could understand it. But really, it's going to go ahead and provide a high level and a ground view level view.
And we've already, before we wrap up today, I know we mentioned what are the type of people that we are attracting with this. It's not just the entrepreneur, it's also the established and the new small business owner, as well as corporate teams. So if there's an existing team, you're working in logistics, let's say, or a call center, and you want to send a few people out to the AI Full Throttle event happening here in Miramar, we have group packages so your whole team can learn as a team. And that's the beauty about this event. We're doing hands-on demos as well as being able to provide expertise in our knowledge fields to be able to deliver value. So I'm excited about this. Miramar's first hands-on AI workshop, Peter.
Definitely excited about that. And Mike, I also want to, understand that, the audience that we're attracting here, again, it's not necessarily business owners, maybe someone who's thinking of, having a startup, they have an idea for a startup, but also the venture capitalists, right? And people underestimate, especially here in South Florida, the amount of venture capitalists that are out here that are just looking to invest in your business, that, really believe that you have something to, to build off of. So it's a great opportunity. And again, it goes back to networking and the environment that we're in, being in the city of Miramar, part of South Florida. Yes. We have a dynamic group of people here, and really the goal is to continue to support each other and grow.
I love it. Folks, if you haven't registered already, you can head on over to airocketship.com/ignite. You can also go to Eventbrite and just type in AI Full Throttle. You're going to see the event, right? If you want to send a team, please message me, sales@airocketship.com. We have a lot to deliver. That's next Friday on the 28th of February. You're going to have input from both sides, business strategy as well as digital marketing and generative AI. So if you ever had product that you want to see come to life, we're going to do live demos of your specific product or service. And I'm excited. Peter, I can't thank you enough for being here and making time tonight. It's beautiful Wednesday evening, February 19th. So we'll be in touch, and I will see you at the event.
Looking forward to it, Mike. See everyone there.
Awesome. Guys, this has been another episode of the AI Launchpad podcast with our special guest, Peter Rodriguez, again from Leadership Miami. He's going to be presenting next week. I can't wait to see you, okay? If you have questions, drop me a message, send an email, and visit us definitely at airocketship.com.